Hey, look who it is.
Hey, Dino.
Hey, Dino.
How are you guys?
Great.
Great. We're very excited to be here with you.
Good to
Nice
see
seeing
you.
Yeah, good to see you,
Good to
man.
see ya.
Everything's good. Gosh, we've known each other so long. It's so good to catch up with you again. We're looking forward to spending the day with you.
Yeah, it's been a long time, you guys, and I'm looking forward to it. We can sit here all day or we can go out for a spin.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go.
Dino, I love being on the water. It's so cool to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm so glad you guys asked me to come out. I got to tell you, there is nothing like being on the water on a weekday when you're supposed to be at work.
Don't tell anybody, Dino. No. Yeah. Excellent, this is great. You guys have known each other forever, right? Like how long?
Gosh, it's been about 20 years now, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
That's a long time.
Yeah, we've come a long way since we were introduced by a mutual friend.
You know, Shawn, honestly, when we met the first time, I remember you were a natural talker from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You were actually conducting some sort of a seminar or something, and I remember thinking, that dude's pretty good. He's got the silver tongue.
So where are we going today?
Well, we're just gonna cruise the harbor. I mean, there's no reason sometimes to even leave the harbor. We got
It's so true.
beautiful boats all around us, huge, big monstrosities.
Yeah, some of the most amazing waterfront estates here. We've been getting a lot of questions lately about affordability with prices going up and cost of ownership. What are your thoughts on that?
I get asked that question all the time, right? And I always get asked the question, you know, what should I do? What's the crystal ball? And the first thing I always say is, I do have a crystal ball, and every time I ask the question, it always tells me I don't know. Because nobody knows what's gonna happen, right? But I do know that the interest rates are so low right now that the actual cost to own a home, even though the price of homes have gone up, the cost monthly has actually been reduced significantly. And therefore, you can actually afford a home, I'd say probably about $100,000 more than what you would have been able to a year ago.
We find the conversation with clients, especially buyers, usually centers around prices.
Yeah.
And one of the things we're constantly trying to get them to understand is it's not about the price of the home, it's about the cost of owning that home over the next 5, 10, or 15 years.
Right now, one of the things I like to think through just because of COVID, everybody seems to want a larger home.
Yeah.
And obviously the cost of that is going up, but at the same time, I gotta say, think through how you don't need that car the way you needed it before. You also don't spend 2 hours in traffic the way you used to before, and the gasoline cost alone.
Yeah, clearly what people are looking for in a home has changed. Where the home used to just be the place you hung your hat at night and slept, it's now really become the center of your working life. It's become the center of your recreation. So people are looking for so much more in a home now than they ever were before.
And you know, I like to tell everybody too, like you are working from home now, you're actually legally allowed to write off a portion of that as a home office. It's even less expensive than you thought it was.
Last year we had a lot of challenge with supply and demand. We had a lot of people wanting to buy homes and we had no inventory, and we're still having this. What are your thoughts about that?
And I know it was challenging, and I believe it's gonna get even more challenging.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because, you know, I've done a lot of studying on the millennial age group, and you know, one of the things that is for certain is that they are the largest population we have ever known on planet Earth. You're having this millennial age group, ages, let's call it 27 to 35 or so, first-time home buyers. They're all coming into market right now. But the statistics have proven, so in Orange County alone, we have something around, it's like 80,000 potential first-time home buyers. And then there's about 43,000 homes that need to be built in order to keep it going. But there's only like 10,000 new homes being built. Supply and demand says that the price of homes is gonna keep going up because there isn't enough homes to supply the amount of people needed. And quite honestly, the statistics that are out, they're talking about a 33% increase in the price of homes between now and the next 5 years.
Wow.
That's
Wow. You know, we talk about the low end of the market, quote unquote. It's kind of a joke, you know, in California being under $1 million. But we see the same competition for homes at the high end of the market, homes $1 million and above, just because there's so many people from all over the world that want to buy homes here in Orange County. It's such a great place to live that people are coming here.
You know, 2008 was such a devastating year for real estate and for people in general. But the one thing I like to tell everybody is that was the first time it happened at that severity since the Great Depression. So don't think that every downfall, every downside of the business is going to be that severe. It's not. I've been in it for 22 years. Like, I know you guys have been in it for a long time, and there's been ups and downs, but never has there been one like 2008.
None as catastrophic as that.
Right, and I don't think that's going to happen again in our lifetime.
No.
And the one thing that I've learned over the years, history repeats itself. Sooner or later, we will have a little bit of a downfall. But history also tells us that you will never, ever lose your money in real estate unless you have to sell during the downturn.
Those times.
Because history tells us the price of homes always goes up.
Over
Always.
time, yes.
Over time.
So what I hear you saying is a great time to buy?
It's always a great time to buy. You know, when you're buying an investment property, you have to think of it along lines of business, right? What's my investment? But when you're buying a home for your family, you're buying a home that you're going to live in, it's important to have financial sense, but it's also important to allow a little bit of your emotions to also be a part of the home buying process, because it's a home.
You know, I say that all the time. When you're buying investment, it's completely different. When you're buying a home, it's your home. It's where you live in. I say that all the time to all of our clients. So it's a little bit different in my opinion as well.
I always say what we do is we help people make generational memories.
I like that.
I still remember the memories that were created in the home I grew up in. And a lot of those stories are being passed on to my kids. And that's what a home is and should always be.
Here in Orange County, you know, as we know, prices are so high. So when the millennials trying to get into the market, what are the tips that you have for them?
First of all, go and ask anybody in your family that's willing to give you a few bucks, take it. Because getting in is the most important thing, right? Whatever it takes. Now, there's a lot of programs. You can get in with very little money. It's not so bad. But also, I'm going to venture out and say that chances are a guy or a girl that's not living with mom and dad is probably already living with the roommate. So if you're already living with the roommate, just buy with a buddy. I mean, if you guys are both making, say, 50, 60 grand a year, you're not making enough to be able to qualify by yourself. But together, with very little money, you guys can probably qualify for a $600,000 house. And I guarantee that's no better than what you're living in now. All it is replacing who you're giving the money to. Instead of giving it to some other guy, your landlord, you're giving it to the bank, but it's actually yours. And then what you're doing is, we talked about it earlier, you're building equity, and that's tax-free money after 2 years. And then, you know, you get a little older, you get married, or whatever your situation is, you guys can sell the house, split up the money tax-free, and move on and buy your own home.
That's some great advice.
So buy with a buddy.
Buy with a buddy.
I like that.
Yeah, but don't forget, if somebody's willing to give you free money, take it.
Okay. Good advice. Dino, thank you so much. It was a great day on the water.
You're so welcome. Great to see you guys.
Boy, what a fantastic day we had.
Yeah.
Got to play some rock and roll music with my kids, spend an amazing day on the water. It just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually, it does get better. Now we're going to check out our top properties of 2020.